Hugh Talks here. Just want to have a little bit of a chat about yesterday's election. So this is the map of the House of Representatives winners according to the New York Times. Now, there's been a lot of division in this election, and I wanted to have a look at how these boundary lines are drawn to try and see if maybe that is making the situation worse or better. So let's zoom in here on the great state of Louisiana. So let's see if we can zoom in here. Here we go, we're zooming in. Okay, Louisiana. Take district number 5 for our first example. Here we have two Republicans running for the same seat. There's nobody else to vote for. If you wanted to vote Democrat or Libertarian or Greens, you have no choice but to abstain from voting or vote Republican. Now, the only way that Ralph or Billy is going to win this seat is by being more extreme than the other person. So if you have a core set of Republican ideals, you've got to be more hardcore about that than the other guy to win your seat. That's going to reflect back onto the population of that area, and they're going to be more hardcore after the winner wins, because their policies will come back to affect you down there. But what if there are a core group of Democrats in the area? I'm sure there are Democrats in district number 5, but the way the US system works is that the politicians themselves, they get a say in where the lines are drawn. So we get this unique situation here, where we have a blue area, a very blue area, with 3 Democrats running for it. Wow, 3 Democrats running for the same seat. So these guys are all going to try and be more Democratic than the person before. So congratulations, Cedric L. Richmond, you won that seat. But look at its neighbouring district. Let's see if I can get this so it lines up without the bubble popping over the top. It's on both sides of, there we go, you can sort of see that there. It's on both sides of that Democratic heartland there. It's a non-contiguous district. And I believe that they've drawn the lines there just so they can have Republicans on one side of the line and the majority of Democrats living on the other side of the line. So you're creating this artificial boundary for ideas to flow. And then again, we've got 2 Democrats. So these Democrats are going to try and be more Democratic than the other one, which is going to alienate the Republicans and split the vote. So if we combined the 2 Democratic scores together, they would have been closer to Steve the Republican's total vote. In this case, it wouldn't have been enough to win it, but it would have been closer. Now, there's this other Republican seat. Where is it? Just here. You can see it loops all the way around. There we go. Loops all the way around the outside of the Democratic heartland in the middle there. Again, why are you running 2 Republicans in the one area? You're just splitting your vote. But I would argue, if I was to redraw these lines, I would split them across the middle, split those three districts, draw a big circle around them, and then just split them evenly across the centre. So you would have Democrats and Republicans all living in the same district. This would force the politicians to listen to their opposition and see what their opposition actually wants and see if you can come to a compromise. I reckon that's going to be a more peaceful little bit of working together to get shit done. You can see it all over the map here. In Alabama, it's a red state with a blue candidate here who ran uncontested. No one else bothered to write their names down and say, hey, I'm going to have a crack at this dude. Is Terry Guys, leave in the comments below. Is Terry Sewell a good candidate or a bad candidate? I don't know. Why didn't anybody run against them? How bad would it be to have an uncontested leader, an uncontested representative there for you? He or she is not going to do anything for you. They've got a cushy job for the next 4 years. They're just going to sit back and relax. Until somebody puts their hand up and says, hey, I'm going to run against you, they've got no real incentive to do anything. They'll keep their job. They're happy as Larry. Over here, Bernie Thomas, he's had to work a bit harder. So he's got three parties all running for that same area. I'm not sure what's happening over here with these two, because it seems that they both have ticks next to their names. We've got a Republican and a Democrat who both have it. Maybe they just haven't got enough votes to get past the magic number. I'm not sure. But so this brings me to my second point of preferential voting. In Australia, we have a system whereby you number your candidates in order of preference of which one you'd like to see holding the seat or the district. We number them 1 through to however many are on the ballot paper, normally about 6 or 7 people. In these cases here, let's say that, let's find a different example. Where were we? Yeah, let's take this one here for example. Let's presume that Marshall Jones has won the seat. They've got the biggest percentage and they've got the most votes. But the majority of people did not want Marshall to win. They wanted either Mike or Trey to win. So in a preferential system, some of the Trey voters would have put Mike as their second choice. Hey, they're not the Republican they wanted, but at least they're a Republican. So what would have happened here is that as Trey got votes were all counted, the electioneers realised that they had the lowest number of votes. They would look down the ballot paper and see who their second choice was. So those second choice votes would then be passed on to the second choice, which would then mean that all the votes would have gone to Mike, which would have put Mike up to, what's that, over 40% of the vote. So you would have had more people happier than having the Democrat Marshall in power. So it's a different way of working it. It seems to work well for Australia. It does mean that minor parties stand more of a chance of getting in. At the moment in the Australian Parliament, there are quite a few minor parties in there, for better or for worse, depending on your view of what those minor parties stand for. The other interesting thing I found on a broader level is looking around the country. See those little asterisks next to the name? That means that these people held the seat at the previous election, held the district. So Adrian Smith, uncontested, just rocked up, put his name on the box. Somebody had to vote for him. Didn't need many votes at all, just needed 1 vote and he's in. So looking around the country, most districts, whoever held it the last election has held their seat. There's only been, as far as I can tell, 1, possibly 2 people. So Ruben, I'm sorry, I can't pronounce your last name, I'm not even going to attempt. Ruben has managed to win the seat off a Republican. Congratulations there. And over here, Brad Schneider has won his seat from Robert Dauld. This, to me, is... Oh, here we go, here's another one. Don Bacon, you beat Brad Ashford, who was the standing member. They must have done a terrible job, because it seems like people do not like to vote for somebody who has never held the job before. Like, everyone seems to want to vote for the guy who did it last time. Yeah, so I've just found this a very interesting, very weird system of electing people. If you've got any comments, please leave them in the comments below. If you like this video, please subscribe and give it a thumbs up. I've been Hugh, and you've been listening to Hugh Talks.